Gwen Stefani's isolated vocals for No Doubt's Just a Girl. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day before we begin the video. Please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Released in 1995, Just a Girl was No Doubt's breakout hit and Gwen Stefani's first solo writing effort. The track blends punk pop attitude with sharp feminist commentary on gender expectations. Its success launched Tragic Kingdom and made Stefani a generational icon. Gwen Stefani has once again captured the full attention of music lovers around the world, this time not with a new release or flashy performance, but with something raw, stripped down, and electrifying. Her isolated vocals from No Doubt's iconic anthem, Just a Girl, have resurfaced online, and fans, both old and new, are completely stunned by the unfiltered power behind the voice that helped define an era. The viral wave began with a fan account posting a studio leak of the solo vocal track, quickly igniting a wildfire across social media platforms as listeners paused their scrolls and leaned in closer to experience Gwen's voice like never before. The original track, released decades ago, has always held a powerful place in pop and rock history, a rebellious anthem that gave voice to frustration, defiance, and a gendered societal box. Gwen's vocals had always been at the center of its impact, but hearing them isolated from the crashing drums and wailing guitars peeled back the layers and revealed something fierce, fragile, and fiercely personal all at once. Every breath, every growl, every quiver came through not as a product of a studio machine, but as a human scream of emotion wrapped in melody. Industry insiders were quick to comment, praising not just Gwen's technical vocal prowess, but the authenticity that radiated from every note. What made the isolated version so gripping wasn't perfection, it was the imperfections, the rasp, the almost whispered delivery in certain lines that then exploded into full-throated declarations, the way she pushed her voice just to the edge of breaking, and then pulled it back with poise. It was a performance that could only come from someone who meant every word and had lived every lyric long before the world sang along. The resurgence of this vocal track has come at an interesting moment for Stefani, who has recently been balancing her solo projects, television commitments, family life, and an ongoing wave of nostalgia surrounding No Doubt as fans continue to call for more reunions, live shows, or even new material. Hearing this voice in its raw state brought back memories of a time when Stefani stood at the front of a band that broke rules, blurred genres, and challenged stereotypes simply by existing with unapologetic energy and a deep love for ska punk and truth. What fans are finding in the isolated vocals is not just admiration for technical skill, but a deeper connection to the raw emotional landscape of the song. Just a Girl has long been hailed as a feminist anthem, a punchy satire wrapped in sarcasm and rebellion. But hearing Gwen sing it without any backing reveals just how much frustration, pain, and exhausted humor was buried beneath the catchy hooks. She wasn't just performing, she was pleading, laughing through anger, daring anyone to challenge her place in a world that constantly tried to define her by gender instead of talent. Social media reactions have ranged from awestruck to tearful as longtime fans express how hearing the isolated vocals brought them back to their own formative years, their own battles with identity, their own moments of shouting into the void. This one track has become more than a nostalgic artifact. It has turned into a shared moment of rediscovery, where a new generation of fans gets to hear Gwen not through the filter of pop radio, but as an artist standing alone in a room, bearing her soul into a mic with nothing to hide and everything to prove. Musicians, producers, and vocal coaches have chimed in on the phenomenon, analyzing her breathing technique, her use of vibrato, and most notably her control of emotional dynamics. It's the kind of vocal that isn't just about pitch or tone. It's about storytelling, about channeling energy and throwing it out into the universe, hoping someone catches it and holds onto it for dear life. Gwen's vocals in this form are not just sounds, they're signals, each line pulsing with attitude and vulnerability, a sonic blueprint of an artist who refused to be just a girl in a male-dominated industry. In the weeks since the clip began circulating, many fans have taken to creating their own content, inspired by it, some layering modern beats underneath to create remixes, others recording their own versions as tribute covers, while some simply sit in silence, letting the vocal wash over them like a tidal wave of rebellion and memory. There is something magical about hearing that familiar voice out of context, like catching a glimpse of lightning without the storm, watching it shimmer and dance before it disappears into the dark. The timing of this resurgence feels poetic in a world where overly processed music sometimes masks the human beneath the production. Hearing something this naked and unpolished feels revolutionary again. It's a reminder of what made people fall in love with music in the first place, not perfection, but passion, not polish, but purpose. Stefani has often said, as she never set out to become a pop star, but to simply make music with her friends and express herself. That ethos is crystal clear in this isolated track, every note carrying the weight of someone who means what she says and says what she means. Backstage buzz has reportedly intensified, with even some members of the industry suggesting that this moment could reignite interest in a larger scale, no doubt revival, though nothing official has been announced. Insiders hint that Stefani herself has been moved by the wave of emotion and support sparked by this viral vocal moment, and that she has been quietly discussing future creative collaborations with her former bandmates. It wouldn't be the first time a moment of unexpected nostalgia opened the door to something new, and in this case, the emotional response from fans might be too strong to ignore. Critics have weighed in too, offering praise not just for the performance itself, but for what it symbolizes in a world increasingly dominated by artificial intelligence and synthetic production. A moment like this one stands in sharp contrast. Here is a human voice, unfiltered and bold, carving its place in history. With grit and soul, Stefani has been praised for her stylistic versatility. But it's moments like this that remind the world that beyond the fashion, the fame, and the image, she's always been a vocalist of uncommon emotional range and expressive ability. For Gwen herself, this chapter adds another layer to an already multifaceted legacy. She's a pop icon, a fashion maven, a television personality, and a mother. But at her core, she remains a singer, a performer, someone who finds truth in melody and magic in the microphone. And this raw rendition of Just a Girl is a time capsule of that core, an echo of the fearless young woman who once stood on stage with bleach blonde hair, a crop top, and an urgent voice that demanded the world to listen. And decades later, we still are. The power of isolated vocals lies in what they reveal. And in this case, they have revealed Gwen Stefani in all her early glory, before she became a brand, before she was linked to one of country's biggest stars, before the world knew her name in every household. She was simply Gwen, the girl with something to say, and a microphone to say it into. The emotional weight of that realization is not lost on her most devoted fans, who have clung to her music through breakups, reunions, evolution, and transformation. As this vocal moment continues to dominate timelines and playlists, it becomes clearer that the legacy of Just a Girl has only deepened over time. What began as a sarcastic protest song for a young woman pushing back against societal constraints has become an anthem for generations of listeners who still feel that same pressure and are still fighting the same fight. The isolated vocals serve as a reminder that behind every anthem is an artist who lived it, breathed it, and sang it with every ounce of her being. Gwen's voice in this clip is not flawless in the conventional sense, and that's exactly what makes it perfect. It cracks, it roars, it whispers, it shouts, it trembles with emotion, and steadies itself with strength. It's the sound of someone refusing to be quiet, refusing to be cute or agreeable or small. It's the sound of someone stepping into their own power and refusing to give it back once it's been claimed. And for those who hear it now for the first or the 50th time, the message is still clear, still urgent, still real. As the buzz continues and more people discover the magic of Gwen Stefani's solo vocals on this track, there is a sense that something bigger might be on the horizon. Whether that means more archival releases, a remastered album, a surprise performance, or simply a new wave of appreciation for the early days of No Doubt, one thing is certain: this moment has reignited the fire around a song that never really stopped burning and a voice that never lost its edge. Gwen Stefani may have evolved into many things over the course of her career, But the voice behind Just a Girl remains as fierce as ever. It's a voice that dares you to listen, challenges you to think, and invites you to feel. And in a world that often forgets the value of real, raw human expression, hearing that voice unfiltered and alone is not just refreshing, it's revolutionary and deeply, deeply unforgettable. Thanks for watching this video. And please subscribe to our American Idol YouTube channel for more updated news.